Welcome back to Both Sides of the Barricade. Today I am joined with a very special guest, our first Stan guest on that side of the barricade. We have my friend Clay Prawl. Say hello, Clay.
I
Clay is a junior film student, and he and I work together with Chloe. So we have a lot to talk about, and we've been to many concerts together. So this will be a fun episode where we talk about some of our concert experiences together and just, our shared love for music.
I'm
So,
excited.
do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, yeah, I'm Clay. I mean, you covered it. I'm like a junior in college. I study film. Um, I am a stan, for lack of a better term, I guess. I mean, technically, yes. I would not like to associate with that term now, but
I know.
yes,
It's
yes.
like it's that or fangirl. I mean, how else can we describe ourselves?
Fangirl's kind of
Fan,
hot.
fan is not enough.
I know, but like fangirl's kind of hot. Like I
I
feel
know.
like we could reclaim fangirl, make it a thing. I'm
Yeah.
on something. I'm
That's why I had that
excited.
shirt on the first episode. Yeah.
We definitely could reclaim Fangirl and make it hot.
We will be reclaiming. But anyway, let's start with like how we met. So if you want to tell that story, it's quite fun.
The tale. So, setting the scene, it's August 2017. Hot, very hot.
Yes.
Billie Eilish has just released her soon to be critically acclaimed Don't Smile at Me EP with less than 100,000 followers on Instagram. She performs two shows for the EP, one in Los Angeles, one in New York. I make the trek alone to New York from New Jersey. Not really a trek, like a 15-minute bus ride, but I make the trek alone. I'm there alone, minding my business after I lied and told my mom I had friends to go with because she was like, "You're not going alone." And I'm
We've all
sitting in
been
line,
there.
and there was like people camping, but like I say like when I got there, not like a fair amount, but I was kind of like in the middle of the line. And I guess some of the people at the front of the line had decided like they wanted to do like a drop at like the bridge of Copycat. And so Jordan was like, she was Hermes for the day. She was the messenger. She was coming down the line. She's relaying the message to everybody. And she like gets to me and she's like, "We're gonna do this thing." And I'm like, "Okay, chat
I
anyway."
didn't even know the girls either. I was just like,
We're
I'm
just being
gonna do this because I
nice.
want to make friends.
Exactly. And in my head, literally like, and like I feel like I can say this now because we are friends, but when you said it, I was like, that is so dumb.
Look,
Like
I know, but I was like, oh, that'll be fun. Like, let's do it.
all I could think in my head was like, child, I'm too old for all of that.
I don't
Uh,
even think I did it.
I
Like,
didn't do it
what?
either. I literally didn't do it, but a bunch of people did do it. You know who did do it?
Ew.
All the people that had to call their parents to get into the venue.
Yeah, let's give a little backstory. That show was 16 plus. Billy was 15. First
Yeah.
of all, that was hilarious. And then anyone who was under 16, which was pretty much more than half of the people there, they had, and all the girls at the front of the line, they had to like call their parents so that they could get permission to go in, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah,
But
it was really funny. Like
I
all
was
these
sitting there,
people
I was 18. I was like,
I was 17. I just remember all these people like had to pull out their phones, put their parents on speaker, and then like the people at the ticket scanner would be like, "Hi, I'm just here to authorize that your child can come inside the venue." "Yeah, my daughter can come in the venue. I'm okay with it." Like that's like all I remember from that show. And then the show happened. It was quick. It was fast because there were what 8 songs
yeah, maybe 10 with
and
like,
maybe oh yeah, 6 feet under
and bored.
and board. Oh, and I just remember afterwards, like she met everybody. We took pictures. I think Jordan might have taken my photo.
Yeah, I think so too, which is
Um,
crazy because
yeah,
we didn't even like keep up after that for a while.
no. I just remember the next day I posted my photo on Twitter, and then I was like going through like Billy's like indirects, or like maybe I was like going through her indirects, or I
Or
don't know what I might. I don't know. I was going through her tag maybe on
yeah,
Twitter or whatever, but I followed Jordan on Twitter, um, and she followed me back, and I mean the rest is history.
I know it really is. I mean, obviously because we lived far away at the time, I wasn't going to New York a lot, but because of that, we didn't see each other as often. But now I'm like, I feel like we talk every day, and when
Literally.
we're together, it's just like chaos, first of all, but like
Yeah.
creative, fun chaos.
Yeah, it's good chaos.
Yes, unless it's at a show, and then it's just like it's chaos.
It's like, no, no, not that, not that.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, we met in 2017. We've been friends for 3 years.
That's crazy.
I know. We hit our 3-year anniversary back in August. And especially in this past year, like ever since like the pandemic, our
The what?
friendship.
I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking
I'm not sure. We're not going to talk about the
about. I
girl.
don't know what you're talking about.
um, but that our friendship has definitely grown because of that, I think,
Yeah,
because yeah,
tremendously.
we started working with Chloe just kind of as friends with her, and we would like talk to her about music video ideas and photo shoots just because Clay's a photographer and I like to style people and do their makeup, and it was just something fun that we could do. And now we're kind of like part of her team, and that's so
Yeah.
exciting. Like,
Now it's a legitimate job.
I know, it's
We're
crazy.
professionals.
Yeah. So that's how our friendship has kind of evolved in the past couple years. Like we've obviously been to like tons of shows together and events. We're
Yeah.
stepping out to an event and we're happy.
I'm on my way to an event and I'm happy.
Yeah. So that's pretty much our a backstory of our friendship for anyone who doesn't know both of us. But honestly, like we have the same friend group pretty much.
Yeah.
But for anyone who's listening and does not know, that is how we met. That's who Clay is in relation to me. Here we are. So, how would you describe your relationship with artists? It's obviously pretty similar to mine just because we share the same love for it, but if you'd like to explain.
Definitely, like when I was younger, like, and by younger I mean like sophomore, junior, senior in high school. Like definitely just like total like fangirl. Like I was obsessed with artists and like they felt kind of like this like unattainable thing, but like these people that like I knew just like I very much like was obsessed with, which like I wish I had a better word, but like I don't. It was obsessive behavior. It was an obsession, love, yeah. Um, and like I think for a while it felt kind of like I don't know, just like they were these people that I admired and I looked up to, really just because they made good music. That was really it. And I was like, well, you're good at your job, so I'm gonna love you. And then as I got older, like, and you like meet them more and you talk to them, you realize they're like not that different and they're
Yeah.
just people that happen to have like a not boring job. And now it's like I work with Chloe and Chloe's my friend. She's like
Yeah.
literally one of my best friends. So now it's like, okay, well, these are people. This is
Yeah.
their job.
Exactly.
Next caller.
No, before, especially I think when we were growing up, like, and I would listen to like Pandora Radio and it would be like Arctic Monkeys, Lana Del Rey. Like, it was people that I like idolized almost.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, I kind of feel like I'm part of like the up and coming generation of those artists, which is just weird because I don't look at it the same way at all, just because
Mhm.
I've, learned more about the music industry. But definitely when I was in high school, like you, it was more of a like, I just like the rosary candles that people would make, like,
No, literally.
like
No,
pray to these
literally.
artists.
Literally. And now it's like, and maybe it's because like I think at the time like I didn't recognize like how many things you could do and still like be involved with music. Like
Yeah.
it definitely didn't occur to me in high school like when I was like yeah, film is like what I want to do, that like I could make a career out of like music videos. Like
And tour
definitely
visuals, like
right.
it's
Like I was like, "Oh yeah, like somebody gets paid to do those things." And I'm like, "Hey, let me try."
yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Like I didn't know that working in the music industry was a thing till I was a junior. And I'm glad I found out then because like I have friends who, even like Kyle, like he and I were in the same program at school, but he transferred in because he didn't even know that that was a thing. And I'm like, I think he was a marketing major before that, maybe
Wow.
communications. But yeah, I can't imagine like entering high school and like I think I wanted to work in the emergency room when I first
Oh,
like
no, no,
went
no,
into high school.
no. No, no, no. Girls who study nursing.
No, I didn't want to be a nurse. I literally wanted to do like surgeries in the emergency room, which can't imagine doing that now. I've
Come
had
on, Meredith Grey.
for real. Like I went through a ton of phases, but once I found out that this could be a job, I was like, oh, there's no other thing that I could be doing.
It's like
Like this is the
literally
only
me. Like
option for me.
I was like almost a musical theater major. Gasp. would not be me.
Oh my God. But yeah, I can't imagine that either because I've never seen you act or sing in that
Right,
respect. So
right. Exactly. I was like, I'll just pick anything.
yeah. Was there what else did you want to do
I
before?
wanted to do, I see, I was, at one point, oh, because like in middle school and elementary school, I did like a lot of musical theater. And then when I moved, I didn't do as much only because I didn't like the shows we did at my high school. They were
Yeah.
just shite options. I wanted to do game design for a really long time. I went to like 3 straight years of nerd camp. Like I really wanted to be Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was like the former president of Nintendo of America. Like
Oh,
I wanted that man's job. What else did I want to do? I like wanted to do everything.
I know. I feel like both of us, we just like want to dip our toes into like everything. That's when Chloe was asking me like what I want to do. I'm like, oh, one thing?
Right.
I mean, like, yes, one thing in terms of the music industry, but like one thing like confined to one job? Like, no, no, I can't do that.
Exactly. I will have multiple jobs in multiple industries that will eventually land me an EGOT. I
I
will get all of them. I'm gonna make a comedy album like Whoopi Goldberg. That's how she got her Grammy. A comedy album. Okay, achievable. Emmy, Oscar, I'm a film student. I can attain those very easily. Now at Tony, I haven't been on stage since the ninth grade, so a little rusty. So I might just do set design. See?
that's true. I
See?
never thought about that.
Right. You pick like the odd things.
Is
The
that
things
the only one that Gaga's missing? A
a
Tony?
Tony. Does she have an Emmy? Oh, she does have an Emmy.
Yeah, I think she's only missing the Tony.
Well,
You could very easily get it,
yeah,
but
she really could get one.
yeah. But so, okay, would you say that getting into like stan culture kind of happened in high school when you like probably Tumblr like me? We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Um, and just, reblogging edits of Lana and Marina, I'm sure. Like, um, that's at least how I was. And then, so what was like the first artist that made you want to be in, like, going to their shows, camping out, like that kind of thing?
Probably like I don't know. I like I guess Halsey, which like at a time was humiliating to say. Like people were clowning her, and being a stan
Yeah,
was really, really hard. Like you had to be like, yeah, I listen to Halsey. People be like, Ouchie,
I know.
welcome to my kitchen. Like it was mortifying. But now she's like famous. So I mean,
Now
what are you
not so much just because she's done so much, like
right?
even in terms of like social justice and like donating and helping fans, like she would donate to like um surgery funds and like
Yeah.
helping like queer kids get out of like abusive homes. Like she did so much.
She's
Like,
paid some of our friends' parking tickets.
oh yes, she paid one of our friends parking tickets after a show because it was on the way home from one of her shows.
Yeah, I mean, she's an icon, but that
Yeah.
definitely was like, it's definitely Halsey. I mean, I joined like Stan Twitter as like a Tyler Oakley stan. And I was like all about my YouTubers. And then I remember like getting into Halsey was like, I remember like one YouTuber I liked, like talked about her when like Room 93 came out, and I hated Room 93. Like didn't like it at the
Really?
time. I was like, don't like this at all. Yeah, I'm really exposing myself because I've been fronting this very differently for the past like 5 years of my life. But I feel like I can say this now. The weights are coming off. I'm taking off the mask, my real identity. I hated it when I was like in high. I was like, this is
Wow.
terrible. And then Apple Music came out. And I remember Apple Music was doing the 3 month trial. And I was like, hey, let me try, because I had the free version of Spotify with all the ads. And I was like, 3 months of uninterrupted streaming. And like Apple Music has like they have like on the front page it's like the top 10 songs or whatever, and
Mhm.
it's like the viral songs or whatever, and like I think like number 4 was like New Americana, and I listened to it and I was like, now wait a goddamn minute, what is this? This slaps. And
Yeah.
the rest is history. I've been mentally ill ever since.
The amount of times that I had to listen to that SoundCloud live version of New Americana before it came out, like I was sitting there on Beats One. I remember it so vividly, like
I'm
when they
screaming.
premiered that song. But yeah, I think I listened to her for the first time like right before she got announced to be opening for Imagine Dragons. Yes, I had tickets for that tour before she got announced. And I was like so excited when they announced that she was opening because I was like, oh my God, like I love both of them so much. And I know, okay, whatever. Like, I already talked about this with Chloe. I will not be shamed. Like, but yeah, I listened to Halsey like when the music videos were out. Like that was my first experience with her was watching like the Hurricane music video, which is iconic.
It's a
And
moment.
at least it was at the time. Like, and I just remember thinking she was so pretty. I was like, this is a queen. Like I just knew. It was one of those times like you just knew that she was gonna be huge.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had many of those instances, but that was a big one. So I can definitely say that I agree with that, like in terms of her being one of the first artists that where you'd want to like camp and be obsessed and all of that stuff because I
Yeah.
like begged my parents to let me go to the like her first tour, the little like the American Youth Tour, and it was
Classic.
on a school night, so my dad wouldn't let me,
I'm screaming.
but I
Not
wanted to go.
Dave. Not Dave.
I know. It was I was in high school. They just didn't like, school night concerts. I get it, but I missed a lot.
Crying.
um but yeah, so I guess uh that covers our Stan background because
Our
honestly,
origin
yeah,
stories.
that is definitely our origin story. So now I guess because we have such a similar taste in artists that we stan,
Mhm.
I know the term is like so like only because it's been used so poorly in like
I find it like weird whenever like I watch like a YouTube video and like someone is like defining it and they're like, "What is a stand?" And then they go back to like the Eminem reference,
mhm,
and I'm like, I don't care like that. I mean, like, do I know some people that do?
yeah,
Yeah, but I don't.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I would just say like I'm just here to. I was gonna say I'm just here to vibe, but I hate that word so
I know, but
much.
sometimes it's just the one to use.
Like, I'm just here to vibe.
Yeah. Well, we definitely were not here to vibe back in like 2017 and 18. We were on one for
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I guess like I mean, we talking about Halsey, like let's talk about Gov Ball. Let's talk about Webster Hall. Like those were probably
Okay.
our most like insane. It was definitely my most insane camping experience. I've never waited that long for like anyone else.
My that was the most painful. Like that was the most painful one, but that's the second longest I've waited for anybody else. But that was like setting the scene. We get there Saturday,
Is this Gov Ball or Webster Hall?
golf
Right.
ball. Oh my god. Oh my god. I actually Webster Hall. I guess Webster Hall technically counts as the longest I've camped because I was there for re- repeated days.
Yeah.
But anyways, setting
We'll
the
get
scene for
there.
golf
We'll get
ball.
there.
We'll get there. Setting the scene for golf ball. I'm like, we get there Saturday morning, bright and early. We took no prisoners, bright
Like
and early
8
Saturday.
a.m. early, and
Yeah,
doors didn't open until what, noon?
yeah, like noon.
11:30?
Yeah, like I think like 11:45 they open.
Yeah. So we
So
got
like
there at like 8.
we got there really early, and I remember like I remember the line at the moment. It was like a couple of like bros and golf chairs and like fold out chairs that were there for like
Travis.
Travis,
Yeah.
and then I remember it being like Twitter mutual, Twitter mutual, Twitter mutual, Twitter mutual.
Yeah.
Like it was
Like
just
all of our friends.
all of our friends, just like people I knew. And everyone's like standing in line and we're like, hey, like, how are you? Like, miss you, haven't seen you in so long. But in the back of everybody's head, it's like, when those gates open, if I trip you, if you eat dirt, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Oh, she died. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Speaking
sorry.
of, quick side note, Chloe asked a really good question. Like in the episode, she was asking like, what's the best and worst parts about like Stan culture, like the community surrounding
Mhm.
like the artists that you are a fan of. And I thought it was a good one. So I wanted to ask you because that reminded me of kind of like the worst part of it is just like how like even though you're friends with everyone, it's like it is like kind of cutthroat, like for no
It's
reason.
scary. Like
Yeah.
we're just there for a show, and like it's like everybody's friend. You know what it is? It's like, and I guess like Gov Ball technically like not the best example because it's not a traditional line, but
Yeah.
like the example always is like Or like the way like I like explain it is like everybody is friends until it's time to stand up.
Yeah. Oh
Like
my God.
you're
I haven't
literally
been to a show in so long that like when you just said that, like for anyone who's not part of this culture, like when we say that, like that's like you stand up like 15 minutes before the doors open and like at that point like everyone sees red. Like all they see is like the barricade in their mind and they're like when those doors open, I don't care who's in front of me, I'm pushing them over and I'm getting to the barricade. I'm like now
everybody is a threat.
yeah, when I look back on it, I'm like, was it that serious? But it
No,
was.
I mean it
Sometimes
is.
it was.
Sometimes it was, but like no, it never needed to be.
It
But
never
like
needed to be that
it's so
serious.
true. It's like the minute like security is like, all right, everybody up, like we're getting you, or like the moment is like when security like turns on like the like the
Metal
mat the
detectors.
metal detectors, and you hear the sound, and then like you hear them warm off the ticket machine, and you hear that little click. Oh my god, I haven't heard that sound in so long. It gives me that buzz, that
Yeah,
rush. But
yeah.
like
But it's
that's when
intense.
you know
Like it's an intense the adrenaline that you that is coursing through your veins in that moment.
it's scary.
I
But
miss it though. I
but
do
like
miss it.
I remember like when we were like at golf ball, like we were all like chit chatting, and then like it was time for us to line up, and suddenly everybody was like, "Oh, you thought we were friends? Uh, huh? No." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay." Um, I remember like I just kept talking, and I was like, "I'm gonna get that center barricade spot. Like I'm gonna be in that corner." You know, my little tiny self. I'm like one of the shortest people out of what all those people there. You all have long legs, except like Izzy and like Annette. Like I think they're the only people I have inches on.
Yeah.
And I remember the gates opening and everybody sprinting. I remember, I think Izzy tripped.
Oh, I would not be shocked.
Somebody fell, and I saw it and like didn't care and kept running. And I remember it was me and Gibson, like neck and neck. And then he slowed down, and I got there, and I was like, "Yep." And then I passed out.
Yeah. Well, and we were on the like Ian and I, we were on the other side of the island, like
Oh
at
yeah,
the
you guys were
other
at the other
entrance.
gate.
So I didn't witness any of that. Like it was literally me, Ian, and then like I met Daniel there for the first time and we just started talking about like Travis Scott and Lord. And so I was having a great time before the doors opened because there
Yeah.
were no other Halsey stands there.
Oh yeah, because like, and you had a farther run than we did.
And Ian was like right behind you. I could not do it. I don't run. Like I got water and food for everyone after that happened
I'm
because I was like,
crying.
I'm not a runner.
I'm screaming. And then I remember like waking up and being like, "What's going on?" And like Mickey Echo was like in the crowd, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, you
okay."
like he passed out, guys. He passed out
He,
after he
he,
reached the barricade. Like
he
that.
died. No,
I
she's
I,
meditating.
I think the adrenaline, like the exertion of energy, was too much for your body to handle in that moment, and you
my
just like
my
collapsed.
body my body literally was like, physical energy. No, you don't do that. So that was sad. And then there's the time that we slept on the street, which like is so sad because it was only a year ago.
Yeah, we
And I
will
really
not get into that one too much, but yeah, basically, Halsey did two shows at Webster Hall in New York, which, if you are not familiar, it's probably like a 500 cap venue, would you say? Maybe bigger?
it's like
A
it's
thousand?
it's like 1,000.
Okay, I don't know,
Yeah,
because I think about the studio. No, the studio, the smaller room at Webster Hall is 500.
yeah.
So maybe even smaller than that. Anyway, it's a small venue, is the point, and she was huge at that point. So she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play both my albums in full 2 nights at Webster Hall." And the timeline that day that she announced it,
I mean, it was like, what are we gonna do? Say no?
yeah, and it was also just like everyone collapsed. There was a mass collapse on the
There was a
timeline.
mass collapse on the timeline.
Like the definition of that was that day. So everyone
Yeah,
paid like so much money for tickets.
not
I mean, I didn't, but I paid a lot of money for the Badlands ticket, and then I didn't pay a lot for HFK, which I was glad because I was like, okay, I can pretend that I spent a normal amount on both.
I went for free both nights.
That's great for you, love. Like, not all of us have that. So yeah, pretty much all of our friends paid $1 million for those tickets. Like I can't even.
Yeah, because they all had to get them resale because they
Yeah,
didn't get the, oh my God, because the Ticketmaster queue, not the queue. I forgot all about the queue. It's been that long.
I don't miss her. I do not miss her one bit. So the
No.
point is, we all got those tickets, and then we were like, okay, this wasn't enough that we got the tickets. Now we have to make sure we're barricade both nights. So we got there the night before the show,
Yeah.
um, and slept there, and then waited all day, and then went to the show.
Yeah.
Night one, I mean, and then we left that show and got right back in line
Got right back in line on the way out of the venue.
and slept on the street again and went the next day. Like a traumatizing event. I was ill
Yeah, I'll never
after
do that
that.
again. I will never do that again.
I will
My
never
body
do it
was
again.
like, "You're not built for this, babe." And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, you're right." And thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. So we just had to tell y'all that because you have to understand like the commitment levels that we have for these artists. Not even just Halsey. I'm sure there's other people that I could name that I've camped for and done insane things for, but and you definitely can. So,
Yeah.
but I guess like what was I going to ask you? Um oh, are there any times where you've done something less than honorable to get into a show?
Lots. I mean, I'll talk about them.
Go ahead.
I'm very good. I'm very good at the mom, I'm going to the city to go to a concert. Her, do you have a ticket? Me, no. And I get in anyways. A great example of this is okay, now setting the scene. It was a different time, so I'm about to speak about Brockhampton. If that is something that might be harmful to you, skip ahead. It's okay. I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah.
We were at Brockhampton, and I went with no ticket, but I wanted to go. And I honestly didn't even actually want to be there because I don't listen to rap music like that.
Yeah. It
But
was
like
more so because all of our friends were going.
everybody was going, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like at home.
I was
So
there.
my friend Meg bought a ticket off SeatGeek. Meg went in the venue with all of our friends. I had photoshopped a ticket, like maybe like I could like pull one over and like cry when it like didn't scan. And it was like my Dua Lipa Hammerstein ballroom ticket that I just photoshopped to say Irving Plaza and changed the date and Brockhampton and changed the picture on it and everything. But the barcode was for Dua Lipa. And the guy scans it and he's like, no. And I'm like, are you sure scan it again? And he's like, no. So I take it to the woman at the booth. He's like, go talk to the woman at like the guest services. I'm like, I don't want to do that. She's about to expose me. And she scans my ticket, and I'm like, my uncle bought it. I don't know. And she's like, yeah, your uncle bought it. And I'm like, yeah, I just like don't know what's happening. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like so confused. She like scans it. She's like, it says that it's for Dua Lipa at the Hammerstein Ballroom. And then she asked me if she could see my ID. And I was like, yeah, here. And she's like, because it says that a Clayton Prawls Ticketmaster account purchased that ticket. And also, and your name is Clayton Prawl. So are you sure your uncle got it? So I left. I literally walked
Oh
out of the
my God,
venue,
Clay.
called Meg, and was like, Meg, I have this idea. Meg was like, what? And she was like, I was like, call SeatGeek and tell them that your ticket didn't scan. Or no, I was like, give me your ticket information. I'll call SeatGeek and say your ticket didn't scan. And then they'll send you a new one. And then you'll screenshot that new one and text it to me. And I'll use that to get in the venue. So I called SeatGeek, pretended to be Meg, was like, the ticket didn't scan. Oh my God. So then they were like, okay, we're going to get you a new one. So they got me a new ticket, like emailed it to Meg. Meg screenshotted the barcode, texted it to me, and then they let me in the venue. And I like didn't even have a good time because I don't like Brockhampton. It's like
Like
it
all
wasn't
that, not even for someone that you care about.
right. All that for like somebody I didn't care about. But like, I mean, like I've done that. There was also like SeatGeek used to have like the $20 off code, like from like Gaga Daily, which is like a Lady Gaga update Twitter account, and also like David Dobrik had a SeatGeek code for a
Oh
long time.
yeah.
And like because like we're not seeing people that were famous or we're playing venues where they could actually charge like a decent amount for tickets, like the good thing to do would be like if you're seeing somebody that you know didn't sell at the venue or is like not that popular, but you know like people scalped their tickets and you know they have to resell them for like a really 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 low price.
Oh yeah.
You go on SeatGeek, the day of, then use the $20 off code, and if everything checks out the way it should have, you're only paying the $4 fee,
Yep.
and then you're there. Or like sometimes like I mean this isn't less than honorable, but sometimes you just get lucky because like an artist didn't sell out a venue, and then the ticket scalpers have to like lower the prices. Like when we all saw Sabrina Carpenter for $6.
I know. I feel really bad like when the artists don't sell out because like I know they must be upset about it. But then I'm sitting there like on StubHub with that $4 ticket and I'm like, aha
And
ha,
I'm
like
like, guess who ate today? And then another time is like Paramore, like Barclays Center caught on to all of our shenanigans after like people like I got kicked out of the Barclays Center on my 18th birthday because I photoshopped a floor seat for Lord.
we do not
And
condone this, by the way. Like, do not do that.
yeah, I mean, don't do it now. You'll literally get caught. Like
Yeah, because
they're on to us.
they've
But
got
like I yeah, photoshopped a nosebleed with my friend Mason, May May, and we changed them to floor seats, and then we sat in them. We went down there really early, sat in them, so we could kind of like be like, yeah, these are our seats. Then left. These two girls came. They sat in the seats, and we didn't see them. We were going back down. So
oh
then we
no.
tried to turn around, but the security guard recognized us from before, and she was like, "No, no, no, babies, go to your seats." And me and Mason were like, "Oh no, love, oh no." And then the girls are panicking because the security guard's like, "These are their seats," and the girls are like, "We just bought these tickets off of StubHub. Like, we're sure they're real." Like, literally, like on the verge of tears. And Mason and I were like, "What the hell we gonna do now?" So then, like, this lady comes over, she scans Mason and I's tickets, and like, she's like, "Oh, we photoshopped our seats to get onto the floor." And then Mason had two like fake printouts of Halsey tickets for Barclays that he photoshopped to be Lord. So the woman scanned his printout tickets and was like, "These are for Halsey." And security came and escorted us out because we couldn't even be like, "Oh, we have real tickets, but we photoshopped them," because like they'd get mad at us. So
Yeah.
then we had to buy new tickets. I mean, the universe was on my side because it was my birthday and I got money that day because I was going to see her. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Oh yeah, Melodrama tour, not to be missed.
And then one time, so then like a couple months after, I saw Paramore at the Barclays Center, and they caught on to all our schemes. So they were like all floor tickets, physical tickets now. So they mailed everybody their ticket. I had a floor seat, or I had a GA pit ticket, and a bunch of my other friends did, but a couple of our friends didn't. So they go in, they take your ticket, they rip off the stub, they stamp it, then they give you a wristband. You can only get on the floor if you have the wristband. But we want to get our girlies in the pit. So
Yeah,
what do we do? What do I do? Because I took one for the team.
sacrificed.
I died for everybody's sins. I ripped my thing off, which was hard because they're hard to get off because they know we're sneaky. I like
Mhm.
chewed it off and then gave it to my friend and was like, "Okay, leave." Go give it to her. And my friend literally was like pinching it at the bottom when the lights went down and just flashed it to security and they let her in. And I was like, and that's how you clear, bitch.
Yeah, I feel like anytime I like attempted anything like that, I got caught. Like, or I was too scared to like do it because I didn't want to get kicked out. Like, the only thing I can think of is like I remember Melodrama tour, I had like sixth row floor seats or like something. It was like maybe 10th row, something like that. It wasn't like far away by any means, but I was still like, I don't know, I want barricade. Like, and so when Run the Jewels ended, and like the opener ended and then like she was about to get on, I just like walked up to the barricade and like acted like I was supposed to be there and no one said a word. So
I feel like I don't know, like that's just a part of standing. Like sometimes you gotta be slick. You gotta pull a
it's almost
scheme.
like you can't help it. Like you have to do it. Like it's like a
I was an employee and I was gonna get employee of the month.
yeah.
You would do it too for a check.
Hmm. Yeah, I think yeah, the recent one that I can think of is I remember one time when I was seeing Lana recently, like last year, I mean, um, I was plotting to get onto we had pit tickets, but you know how people camp for Lana. It was like a week-long camp. Like it
There,
was ridiculous. I
there.
got there day of. I was not doing any of that. But then like there was a separate entrance to get into the floor that like everyone else didn't know about. And we were like, "Oh, so we could just go there." But the only thing that stopped us is we had to like go to a separate like station to get a wristband and we
Mm,
didn't know that. So we were like, we went straight there and they were like, oh, you need a wristband. And I was like, God, we could have like been on the barricade for like nothing.
that.
I
Crazy.
know. That was like
Oh,
the only one I can think of.
I also scammed the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh, right, the balcony ticket. But
The
that was just
balcony
like
ticket.
like
That
you
was luck.
yeah, that was more like, oh, I made it a GA ticket when it was balcony. Like, okay. I feel like people would rather be on the balcony. Like people who buy balcony tickets, like they'd rather just sit up there and not deal with the people in the pit because
That's
can't blame
tea.
them.
Yeah.
Really can't blame them. Um, so yeah, I guess like okay, really quick, what was your most like memorable like show? I mean, we talked about camping experiences, but I mean like your favorite like concert. You don't have to name just one if you don't want to, because I know that's hard. But like off the top of your head, like which show was the most memorable to you?
Probably Paramore at the Barclays Center. Just because like it was like the middle of summer. I hadn't seen actually I had seen people, but like a bunch of us like had graduated high school in 2018 and we were all leaving like in like 3 weeks like to all go to college, and I didn't know how many people I knew were going, but it ended up being like a lot of us, like people that I was hanging out with all summer were going, and then people I hadn't seen in like months that I wasn't going to see again until like Christmas probably were there too. And it was like maybe like 20, like 30 of us. Like I knew almost everybody there.
Wow.
And like we had a lot of fun. That was like iconic moment in history I will never forget.
Yeah.
Um Lord at the Anthem, I mean, iconic camping experience, an iconic show,
Mhm.
iconic injuries, all of it was iconic. Like it was everything. I have the set list from that show. Like I
Yeah.
snapped that day. And then last one, probably like Maggie Rogers at Radio City Music Hall, because that's my girl. I ride for her.
Mhm.
Love her. But that was like I've seen her plethora of times. That definitely was the best performance like she had given in like a hot minute. No offense, Maggie, if you're listening. Um, but like those three, like definitely my favorites.
Yeah. No, those are all great answers. And then if you have like one meet and greet experience where you like felt like the artist really made you like feel special or something like that.
Okay, I have a great story. I have a
Is
good
it
one.
wait, let me guess. Is it the Bloom listening party?
Yeah, that's
I
literally what I
knew
was
it.
gonna
I
say.
knew it.
Yeah, because I wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But like, I had met Troy the day before at a radio station, and it was like super quick, and it was like a group meet and greet, and it wasn't any fun. And it was like me, Meg, Savannah, and a couple of our other friends. And the next day, he was doing a listening party for his album, like months before it came out, because My had just come out, and the album didn't come out till like August.
Oh yeah, I
This is
remember that.
this was like January, I think. And it was like he only picked 10 people, and then each person could bring a guest. And my friend Kyra got invited, and because like her friend Sam was going. And I asked Sadie where it was, and Sadie caved and gave me the answer after Meg and Savannah had gone to almost every hotel on the island of Manhattan trying to figure out where it was.
Exposing
Like
them.
we like called every hotel. They went places. Like we were gonna figure it out. We go to the place. It's all these people standing in a room, right? Everybody knows we're not supposed to be there because like they would know, right? So it's
Yeah.
like we saw a couple other stands and they looked at us and they were like, how do you know where we were? And the three of us were like, so anyways,
Yeah,
they
you're like,
gave everybody wristbands and they confiscated their phones. So we're like talking, Meg's like, I don't know, her like acting high school genes like really came out. She was like giving the performance of a lifetime, like deserved a Tony.
wow.
Like they were like, well, we'll see like we'll see like the capacity and if we can let you in or whatever. They take everybody with a wristband up to the hotel room. Like 5 minutes goes by and like Troy and his manager like come up in the hotel and they come through like the stairs, and then like we're like all like maybe 6 feet apart, and he recognized us, and Meg tells the lie that she came up with, and I don't think anybody believed it, but it was just kind of the idea that like he remembered us from the day before and he was like, yeah, you guys should come up. So like we're all in the elevator and it's like us, Troy, and his manager Danny, and Danny's like, hey, I'm gonna need to confiscate your phones, right? Like nobody made us sign an NDA. I could have leaked a lot of information. But
Hmm.
that was really cool because like we weren't supposed to be there and we got in, and then like it was just like not a lot of people and we got to hear a couple songs off the album, and then afterwards like we all got a picture and it was just like a super like cute, like girly little experience. That was
Yeah.
fun.
No, I always loved those. Like when I would hear about like my friends getting to see like an artist that they stand like in such an intimate like experience like that, especially because like you said you weren't supposed to be there, but like he recognized you and was like, "Oh yeah, you should just come up." Like
Yeah,
it's like the best.
as
It's
if
the
we were
best
of
feeling.
any importance or deserved to be there. And let me
Yeah.
tell you, some of the girls were gooped when the door opened and we were right behind him. I won't name names, but they know who they are.
But no, I like definitely understand that. Like it's just especially a listening party. Like I won't talk about the listening party I missed, but you
Tragic.
know, but those are always really cool too because like I would just be so upset because then I wouldn't be able to hear it again like for another couple months. Um, but yeah, so I guess that covers a lot of our experiences. And I said on Instagram and Twitter, like if anyone wants specific artist stories, we got plenty.
Yeah, I have
I
a
mean, we could do
lot.
a whole episode just about like Billie shows that we've been to or times that we've met her, or like, obviously we talked about Halsey today, and then like there's a million artists that we've seen together, so we could easily make more episodes like this.
We have content.
Yes, but today we must end the show, and we'll
Oh,
start by talking about our current favorite songs, artists, albums. So, Clay, if you'd like to start, go ahead.
okay. Well, current favorite project, because it's an EP, but project. Falling Asleep at the Wheel EP by Holly Humberstone. Favorite song off that, probably Overkill. Second place, Vanilla. But it probably will change at midnight when we all stream the Blackpink debut album, Blackpink semicolon the album, out at midnight. Okay, guys? Yes, get into it. October 2nd.
Yeah, midnight, October 2nd.
Second. Yes. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
it'll be out the same time as this episode.
Available on all streaming platforms.
Yes, and we will be streaming. We will.
Period.
So do you have like a favorite song, or is it, I guess the song's on Falling Asleep at the Wheel?
Um, Probably Vanilla, or yeah, I think my favorite on that EP on that project from Holly Humberstone is Vanilla.
Yeah.
Definitely Vanilla.
Okay. And then my favorite song right now, I mean, we share a love for it, but Little Nokia by Bree Runway,
I mean, she's an icon.
quite the classic.
It
And
is.
I love Bree Runway too. She's probably one of my favorite artists right now as well. Um, Another favorite artist of mine, I'm kind of having a Mazzy Star resurgence.
Okay.
Yes, I listened a lot as a kid. My dad would play them in the car, and I just have been re-listening like crazy to their albums, and so that's been really nice too because I've been looking for more soothing music, and that is just
Right.
perfect. And then probably favorite album besides like the Mazzy Star albums that I've been listening to, Chip Chrome and the Monotones by The Neighborhood, and Nectar by Joji are my two albums that I've been streaming lately.
Good
So
choices.
thank you. Yeah, so now if you'd like to plug your social media, go ahead.
As a matter of fact, I would. You can follow me on multiple places. You can follow me on Twitter at Clayton, but the L is an I and the O is an U. So CIAYTUN,
Yep,
which is not how you spell my name, but it's how you spell my Twitter handle.
yep.
You can follow me on Instagram at Clayton Prawl, but there's no vowels. So CLYTN. Y is sometimes a vowel though. Never mind. CLYTNPRWL. You can also follow me on TikTok at Farm Slut.
Hmm. Yes, and I would suggest following Clay on Twitter because his tweets are quite hilarious. I
Yeah,
have a chuckle almost every day looking at his
I'm pretty
Twitter.
funny. I
Yeah.
can't lie. I'm not humble about it. I'm hilarious.
So then you can follow Both Sides of the Barricade on Instagram at Both Sides of the Barricade, on Twitter at BSOTB Pod, the acronym, and then pod. And then you can subscribe on YouTube at Both Sides of the Barricade. And you can follow me, Jordan, at JTaylorLDR on Instagram and Twitter. And that will pretty much do it for this episode. I mean, thank you guys so much for listening. I will have another artist guest for you next week, but I hope you enjoyed me talking to one of my genuine good friends.
Oh,
One of my, let's be honest, my bestie. Like,
bestie.
bestie. But we've been through so much together. We've gone to so many shows and we have so many great memories and stories. So if you'd like to hear more of them, let me know. And without further ado, you can follow, subscribe, like, download, rate, comment, and all of that. You can listen to this episode on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. And I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys next week with a new episode. Clay, say bye. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.